welcome to episode 36 of the Blindsided podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about aim. We all take aim at some point in our lives, whether it's people who archery or wrist rockets or targets of any kind. It could be a goal. It could be going on vacation. It could be just setting the stage for the day you want to have. Is all about aim, because without aim, we don't know where we're going. My name is Charlie Collins, co-host here of the Blindsided podcast.
Hi, Charlie. I missed doing our podcast. Hi, everybody. My name is Brenda Hayden. I'm the founder of Time for a 10. We're an emotional awareness coaching service. We help people identify their conditioned thinking and their belief system. We help them unravel all of that so that they can get at exactly what is going on in their subconscious brain and kind of break old habits, break old thinking patterns, and change their belief system so they can lead a happier, more powerful life. I'm so excited to be here, talk about AIM tonight.
Yeah, you have experience with that. So I just wanted to relate it to first vacation. I know when a family, people, just whoever, anyone listening, myself and Brenda included, it's time to go away on a vacation. Well, that takes an aim. Aim as in, so I put in the description, ready, aim, fire. So the ready is getting ready, thinking about, seeing, doing research, making the plan, choosing the things you might want to do each day or not do, but really getting ready. And the aim is booking the hotel, renting the B&B, the rental property. It's inviting another family. You know, it's that next step. And then the fire is basically getting in the car. Everything's packed, all the chairs, all the goods, the coolers, the bedding, whatever you need, but it's all been aimed towards. What is the aim? To get to a vacation spot, to have a nice vacation with my family, to enjoy each day. So each day you wake up and you probably reload and re-aim for that day. So one of the things I like that, we could call it goals and things, but for me, aim is it's setting the stage for the day too. And what's my aim for today? Is it moving in a direction that's going to bring joy and service and peace and harmony, or am I going to be a producer of confusion? And I've been away on vacation where I just showed up and it was not as enjoyable because I didn't have a plan. And I was too busy aiming. I couldn't seem to get it right. So I just went anyway.
I love this topic, Charlie. I love this topic about aiming and goals. And I like that you're talking about how you start our day. I don't know how many podcasts it was ago that we were talking about exactly this, how you start your day. And I had told you that, I used to get up and do a 10-minute meditation before I went to work. And then I'd gotten away from it. And then I got back to it. Well, now fast forward many podcasts later, it is a morning ritual for me. I set the alarm clock a little bit earlier. Before I start my day, I do a little Kundalini meditation where I, open my third eye. I go inward and connect. I do at least 10 minutes of journaling about how I want my day to look like, or what I want my day to look like, how I want to present myself in that day. It's not about how I want anyone else to behave. How do I want to behave that day? I literally send love to all the people that I'm going to see that day, all the people that I work with on a regular basis before I even leave the house. And by putting myself in that kind of space, I'm just much more relaxed wherever I go. I'm mindful that everybody is doing the best they can on any given day. Some people aren't, you get somewhere, some people are not going to be in a good mood, others will. And those that aren't, I don't attach meaning to that anymore. It's just, and these are small little aims, right? I aim to do this. These are small changes in my morning routine that have had a really big impact on the quality of my whole day. And I think that's what you're talking about. And when it comes to vacations, I have had vacations like when I went to Rome. We were going to, we were starting in Rome and then going to Florence and then going to Venice. Like there had to be plans, there had to be some structure to that. But there have been other times that I've been on vacations in Florida or to an island somewhere where I didn't make any plans so that I could just get up in the morning and do whatever I wanted and then decide in that day, what do I feel like doing? And I've had a really good time doing that as well. So it could go either way.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten to that beach if you didn't aim towards the beach. So, I mean, it took a lot of work to get to the beach, but what you're saying is that you are going to do a daily aim of, I'm just going to let the day unfold and see where it takes me. I'm not going to have any rigidity or structure or at 9:15, we're getting in the car, none of that stuff. So I get it. I get it. But it also took aim, and let's go back to, if you're not feeling the way you want to feel, maybe you're feeling a little frustrated, a little self-pity, maybe you're feeling a little depressed, you're having some waves of self-pity and depression come in, maybe you're not, you're winded at the top of the stairs and you're like, gosh, I don't want it to be this way. And all you got to do is just wake up and aim a little higher in an area. And that area, Brenda gave us a morning, but she did not say, you know what? My day, I'm finding myself blaming, complaining, rationalizing, justifying, pointing fingers. And my boss is a jerk and I go to work tense. I come home tense. I'm just going to wake up in the morning and start doing all this stuff. No, it took an aim first to get to the crux, the core of the problem. Then she aimed again, and then she aimed, and I don't mean to say, Brenda, that's what I did, and I know that's what you did, and it's like, I didn't even know that I had the power to aim differently. I didn't know. I thought life was living me in a way, like I got up and boom, whatever happened was the day. And then I learned, no. You can actually take responsibility and aim towards finding your true north.
Absolutely. You're right. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. And it started for me in this particular circumstance. It started with exactly what you said. I was unhappy with the way my days were going. I was rushing and I just was unhappy with the way my days were going. And that pain and discomfort is what motivated me to take a different aim, right? To set a goal, to make a decision, because part of aiming is making a decision to do something differently. And I didn't just get up one day and all of a sudden I was doing all these things. I experimented with different things. What would make me feel good? I listened. I went out and I listened to some other spiritual teachers. What did they do? How did they do it? How did it work for them? Will that work for me? So you're right. It's not just like I just wasn't struck with this, brilliant change in behavior. It unfolded as a result of being motivated to do it from pain and discomfort, wanting to do it, making it a decision to do something different, and then going and doing some research about how to get there. I started listening to Marianne Williamson, A Course in Miracles. I've been listening to her for about 5 years now, every morning on the way to work. And then you're supposed to be practicing these exercises during the day. I wasn't doing that. So I started doing that. Oh, that feels really good, right? And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to put the journal in a different spot so that I see it when I get up in the morning. And so now I can't not see it. So I journal, and the Kundalini, I wanted to find a meditation, I wanted to start experimenting with different kinds of meditation. I like the silent meditation, but I want to experiment with different kinds. So I did some research on that. and I watch somebody that I really respect do this Kundalini meditation that opens your third eye, I'm like, oh, that's for me. And I started playing with that. And I'm sure I'll be switching it up, but you're dead on. It was a process. It took work, and it took, not getting it right a whole bunch of times. And now I'm in the habit. And then I developed a habit. And, we've talked about this before. It takes 30 days to develop a habit. And one of the reasons why I picked this particular Kundalini meditation is because you have to do it every day for 40 days. So I knew it would motivate me.
Yep.
Right? Because I want this third eye to be working exactly, as great as it can be, as good, as well as it can be working. I want it working. So I did it. And now now it's a habit. And I love that when it becomes a habit.
As a legally blind guy, I'll take any third eye that's out there.
I'll show it to you, Charlie. You got to start by doing some tapping.
Oh yeah, I know tapping.
Oh, the tapping's great.
I've done a bunch of that. So, but what it goes back to again is that you just aimed. What I find with the people I work with and all, first of all, they know what they don't want more than they know what they want. So they say, I don't want this, and I don't want my car to break down. I don't want my mortgage to go up. I don't want any more credit card. I don't. So they're aiming towards an I don't mind, because that's the aim. Because how people speak is the aim, is really the way their mind is aiming. And like you, I too said, this isn't working for me anymore. I need to aim differently. And I needed to first start by metacognition, noticing that with every experience, with every event and things throughout the day, whether it was me looking for something or bumping into something or, just struggling throughout the day, negativity was attached to everything. So I realized my aim, and what did I get? We talk about where my attention goes, my energy flows. When we kick in the law of attraction, the universe shows us more negativity. I don't know any of this, and I wonder why life has gotten more and more difficult. So I finally woke up enough to say I need to aim differently. I'm going to aim towards thinking kind thoughts of others and myself. I'm going to catch myself in a pattern of beating on myself. I mean, gosh, if anyone ever treated me the way I treated me, I would have no friends in the world. I was brutal to myself. And the more I was like that, it was just like, you always are stupid. You always screw that up. It wasn't, but over time, Brenda, my aim had become a very negative, and I don't know it's my aim. It's now a conditioned body going at the day. So what aim means is take charge. It's up to you. If it's meant to be, it's up to you. It's not, and no one is going to show up at your door and say, ding dong, here's the pill, and your life's going to get good. I wish, but it ain't going to happen. I'm down in my basement as a kid. My dad, we had an air rifle, an air pistol, and like a BB gun that you could shoot rapidly. And at the other end of the room was boxes with all stuffing in it and 2 targets. And the lower target, when you hit the bullseye, it rang a bell. You need that when you can't see too well. And, I had a big scope and always shooting. I missed way more than I hit the target, Brenda. And you know what? On those misses, I didn't put the gun down, say, I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm never aiming anymore. I'm just going to sit here. I suck at shooting a gun. It wasn't about that. It was 1 out of every 10. Ding. Whew, that was fun. So and I'm just saying that is when you are ready, you start to aim and you fire. You start moving in a direction towards. It is not always going to be easy peasy squeezy. It's not. It's going to be on course, off course. But with a good aim, aiming higher, and a belief it's possible in yourself, you'll get there. Of course, with a coach and a guide.
Yeah, of course. But you bring up something really important, though, Charlie, and it's you said 1 out of 10, it dings, and you're happy, right? So what ends up happening for me is the outcome seems to kind of fade away, if you will. I'm doing this thing. I'm enjoying doing it. It's something that I wanted to be doing, right? And I said, I had an aim. I had a goal. I wanted to make it happen. Now it's happening, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm no longer attaching any meaning to it, like needing a certain outcome, needing to, for example, if I have a bad day, even after I've done this ritual in the morning, and really, I really don't have bad days. I call them challenging days. So I have a day that's challenging, because all days are good days for me. There's some days are challenging and more challenging than others, but I'm grateful for every single day that I have today, because I'm in a different place than I used to be, you know. So I'm now doing this ritual, and the expectation of doing the ritual isn't that I'm going to have a great day every single day. The expectation is that I'm growing through this process of changing my behavior to be aiming for something and doing the work to achieve whatever it is that I'm aiming for. And the aim isn't always for a specific outcome. It's for me, it's for expansion. I'm expanding. I am not the same person I was 2 months ago when I started doing this routine. I'm not the same person. My mindset has changed. My thinking has changed. I ask myself different questions now when that itty bitty committee starts to kick in, and I ask myself, hey, is that thinking going to get you anywhere? Is it for your highest good? And if it's not, I kind of move past it.
I love that. Aim for gratitude. There's an aim. Do that for 21 days, every day. Document, share, aim higher, aim gratitude, document, write down, share, and share. Hey, I'm so grateful to have you in my life. Hey, hey peeps, on Facebook, what are you grateful for today? I noticed that the leaves, even though they're down, the beauty is still throughout the entire forest, not on that one tree. You know what I mean? So that's an aim. Aim once, one area, but do it repeatedly, and you'll notice that your sight will get much clearer.
Yeah.
And you will notice more great. You'll notice change, because if we're not aiming higher, and we're aiming lower, and lower doesn't seem to work. I like that you brought that up, because I did that for a while. I just aimed at gratitude. I can't fix it all. I want to figure out how to fix it all right away. I'm carrying some baggage, some remorse, shame, guilt, depression, so now I know there's a way. So teach me today. And it's a process. I had to learn how to aim at appreciating other people. That was my aim. That's it. Then my aim was send out love to somebody or more. That's it. Then my aim was, what can I and who can I be grateful for today? So I brought my sights. I no longer was using the big scope rifle and trying to go far. I lowered the bar, because I realized it isn't going to course correct, and I'm not going to fix it all on my own fast. This is a process. It didn't take me 10 days to get stuck and frustrated in life. It took years of conditioning, and I'm not going to reformat my brain, as in with neuroplasticity and create new pathways and new healthy habits overnight. But by aiming and staying on that aim over and over, I'm going to sharpen my skills and get better.
Yeah. Yeah. The more you practice, the more you grow. You talked about gratitude. I just want to share one thing about that. When I was practicing gratitude, learning how to practice gratitude, what was suggested to me was to invite a group of friends into a gratitude text. So once a day, there was a group text, and each of us would name one thing that we were grateful for. And it didn't matter who started it, during the day. It didn't matter. Like, some days I wrote the first gratitude for the day. Some days I wrote the last gratitude for the day. But because there was a group, there was it's like an accountability buddy. We like to talk about that. There was a group of accountability buddies that we were all expressing gratitude together. as a group. It was really nice because then you're reminded too throughout the day. Because I might say, oh, I'm really grateful this morning for whatever, and then 10,000 things happen, and the last thing I'm thinking about is what I was grateful for this morning. But when you're in a group text like that, it's coming through all throughout the day, and you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
You mean your aim turned towards revenge?
Yeah, you don't like group texts.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, yeah. I would have been grateful for the last day of that text. But no, I'm saying I too started my day out with the intention. I'm going to notice and be kind and grateful. And 2 hours later, I'm now aiming at my teeth are grit and I am no longer grateful and I need to either get even, teach you a lesson. I mean, which is sad, but my aim shifted. But thankfully, I learned over the time to, oh, I'm doing it. Oh, I'm not taking responsibility. I aimed at responsibility for a long time and set up accountability, Brenda. How can I take responsibility for everything? For my thoughts, for my behaviors, for my feelings, for the way I think and treat and do for others. I need to take responsibility. And I aimed and aimed and aimed. And there's been many times in my life due to procrastination, which was really a 5-syllable word for fear, and where I did ready, aim, 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 because I needed to get it perfect. I needed to get it right, especially marketing, putting a message out there, taking on the podcast, shooting video. I mean, I need to do this right. What will they think of me? I don't want to fail coming out of the gate. Well, I was never going to fail because I was never coming out of the gate. The fire part wasn't happening. Can you relate to that at all?
Oh my gosh. When I started making these videos for the psychology videos that I put on the At Time for a 10 YouTube channel, it would take me 4 to 5 hours to make a single video. I write the script myself. I don't believe in using ChatGPT to write the scripts. I think that's fraudulent. So I write those scripts myself. I put it into the AI video generator, and it presents me with a whole bunch of different stock images or short stock clips that I can then put in the video. And I would spend hours looking for the right photo, the right little clip, timing it with my script. 4 to 5 hours for one video, a half a day to get one video because it had to be perfect. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. I go through, I maybe spend 2 hours at most on a video. I don't have to have the perfect picture or the perfect clip anymore. I'm just trying to get a message out, a message that will resonate and teach somebody something. And it's changed. It's changed. It's not about me. It's not about me getting it right. Nobody cares. Really, that's the bottom line. Nobody cares. Don't. I was the one putting all that pressure on myself. It was my own perception of perfectionism that was causing that.
Right.
That I needed to be perfect to have worth. And I don't. I'm not doing this for worth. I'm doing this for service. Being of service, not defining my worth by the video.
Yeah. And that keeps a lot of people stuck. It's like, I don't know how. Who cares? Do you know the why?
Yeah.
Why? Because I want to breathe clearer. I want to have more peace. I want to have more happiness, a better sense of direction, better relationships. I want to be connected spiritually. I want to enjoy the nature a little more. Okay, so those are all good whys, right? So how can I aim towards that? I could take a walk every morning. I could just go stand out on the front lawn and just ground a little and take some deep breaths and think, help guide me on aiming towards a day that I could be of service. Because like you said, Brenda, if I just think, help me make more money, help everybody call me back on time, help people send me the kind of emails that don't irritate me, I mean, come on. That's called aiming for selfishness. And you and I have good experience with that not
Oh
working.
yeah, not working. It never works. Never works.
So I want to talk about one last, well, not, I don't know if it's the last one because my script is, I don't know where it is. I lost it.
There is no
um,
script.
I- um, it's ready, fire, aim. Now, that could have been Brenda reversing what she did. The 4 or 5 hours. Oh my God, is this the, oh God, there's got to be a better photo. What will they think? And just kidding. And
That's
so
what it was like. Yeah.
what if she switched that around and she did ready, fire, aim? She started putting some videos out with an hour and a half, at most 2 hours of effort, but she started seeing she was starting to get some results. But this one didn't. She was measuring her progress. And that's a great way for us who like to do it perfect or right. We call it right, but it's really perfect
Yeah.
because the eyeballs that see what I do, gosh, I couldn't imagine that they're going to say something mean. Well, I can't possibly. I don't want to make everyone happy, or, that's not my goal. My information, our content will reach the hearts of those that we connect with. It's our style, our experience and all. So you imagine if, Brenda, you ready, fired, then aimed. You did some. Okay, I need to course correct and aim after. And then, you know what I mean? And then it falls into place. It's like this podcast. I have monitors all around me and lighting and microphones and filters and connections. And I mean, there's no way I would have ever have done this if somebody told me, here's 43 points that you need to accomplish in order to ever do what you're doing now. I would have said, forget about it. No way. But the why was greater than the how, and my aim stayed true.
Mm, I love that. So you're talking about having some confidence and faith in your own journey and your own ability to discern and your own, hey, just try it and see how it goes and learn from that. You're talking, really what you're talking about is being comfortable with the unknown, having some faith, relying on a higher power, relying on the creator of all that is to kind of allow things to unfold for you, and you show up for whatever's going to unfold that day. I love that. I love that. I spent a summer doing that, and it was one of the most miraculous summers of my life. I share about it sometimes, that for 3 months I committed for an entire summer not to make any plans and just to get up every day and do whatever it was that was laid out in front of me. And I met people, I went different places, just all these things happened that I didn't plan, right? I didn't aim for. And it was incredible when I let go and I let the universe do its thing. Oh my gosh, what an experience that was. Yeah. And you know what they call that in project management and really kind of product development is agile. It's an agile project management style. It's agile when they're developing technology these days, and they do it a lot where they just throw something out there and see if it works. They don't wait till all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. They throw it out, see if customers like it or not, see what the problems are, and they go back and fix it, and they throw it out again and go back. It's agile. You go with the flow.
And it's also called split testing. You can have A and B, and then you fire out a message and you see, it's your customer group or your client group or your prospect group. So they came into your platform or your email list because they like what you're doing. So then I run a test to A and B. I haven't done it yet, but I will be. And then you see which one performs better, because I would get stuck in the aim. I would get stuck in the and not the ready. I'm ready. I can see people coming in and spending and buying my courses and hiring me for keynote positions. But what happens if I send out something and they think I'm stupid? Or, like, what? We would never hire this loser. Well, create two, send it out to A and B, and see which one performs better, and then send that better one to the other ones.
Mm,
It's like, I never would have thought of that.
yeah.
I would be too busy trying to make it perfect.
Yeah.
So there's really good tools to help with that too.
Yeah.
And Brenda, I just want to go. I'm going to share from our book. Um,
Go for it.
there's a couple books out there, but I want to talk about a morning on awakening type of thing because my aim in my life changed better when I slowed down in the morning.
Mhm.
It has done wonders for my life. I have a couple hours now in the morning before I even touch a computer or get going. But so it's on awakening. We think about the 24 hours ahead. So maybe we think about until we think our day through. Do we have some calls to make? Do we have some emails? Are we meeting up with someone? Make sure I remember to ask them how their kids are doing. And I kind of think about. I go through my day. Okay, so I think and I consider my plan for the day. I consider the aim I have for that day, and and that's all. It's like, this is what I plan on doing, and this is how I plan on showing up. And here are the results I want. And it's not me. I am in that. I am worthy. I do deserve to win each day, but I feel better about winning when the other people win that I'm involved with. I
Yeah.
love that better. I don't want to do a win lose, and they're certainly not going to do a lose win. But my old days, that was fine because I was too afraid to open my mouth. So I consider, and then I ask, I think let me right now make an aim and an intention. I want to remove this self pity, this doubt, this it's about me in my mind when I'm doing this. So I want that removed, and because I understand the universe and my creator gave me a processing mind and body to be able to aim throughout the day. And because he gave us those brains to use in that way. And it goes on from there. And I have certain tools, certain affirmations and things, and they are nothing like they were 18 years, 20 years ago when I started. They evolve as my spiritual development evolves, my morning ritual evolves. It usually gets longer.
That's fantastic, Charlie. I love it.
And and you do the same thing. I mean, not the same thing, but you do a morning ritual, which
Yeah.
sets the intention for the day, helps move you in a direction that gives you that feeling that I'm on course.
Yeah. So let's talk for a second about fear, because I think it's important to talk about fear before we wrap up, because that's the number one blocker to moving forward with any of this is people are afraid of change. What would it look like if you actually did meet that aim? If you did make a commitment to make some kind of change, what would it look like to be doing that? Did you experience any fear in wanting to make those changes and actually, moving forward with your aim?
May I ask you a question first?
Yeah,
On the screen, I need to borrow your eyes. Do I have time for 10 or blind?
you
Sorry,
have time for 10.
my turn.
Now you have blindsided. You're
Thank you for
going
allowing
to,
me.
Charlie.
Brenda, fear almost killed me.
Yeah.
It was the fabric of my existence was shot through with it. So,
Mhm.
but you mean when I recognized that, when I saw how it presented in 100 different forms in my life, whether it was procrastination or, isolation, but once I got a handle on how fear was dominating my thinking process, and I saw when I was a little kid when that seed was planted and it started germinating and growing into my whole daily life, but once I saw that, I began to outgrow it. Once I wrote it and saw it and talked about it, and that's what I do working with people a lot. I help them see, and I can't, Brenda, you and I know, we might see it when we're working with somebody because we can hear it, but they still don't see it. And it's like, because fear is not letting them. Don't mean to get frustrated, but and even if I gave somebody the answer, like, well, they still can't see it. But when you nurture, and I think I had my coach was, he would say, well, is it possible, or could you consider? And I would go, oh, holy God, I'm so smart. He knew all along, but he nurtured me into a way to help me see that fear was dominating.
Yeah.
And as I started aiming differently, no,
Yeah.
not on certain things. Fear wasn't even there. Certainly is on business stuff and other areas, but over the years, it seemed to just continue to fall away.
Yeah. So it's interesting though, Charlie. I had an experience this weekend. I had to give a presentation in front of my class. And I've had to do this a few times, of course, over the last couple of years in school. And I am petrified. I have stage fright, like you wouldn't believe. Like I can do this podcast. I can speak on AA meetings all over the country, even on the Russia one. Not a problem. You've seen me speak, getting up in front of a group of people. And I got to get ready for my TED Talk. Getting up in front of a group of people petrifies me. So I could either sit with this, right, and continue to be afraid of it, or I can hit it head on and go do exactly the thing I need to do, which is go take some public speaking courses and start practicing getting in front of, voluntarily getting in front of groups and speaking like that to get through it, to get through the fear, to get to the other side. And so if you're finding yourself avoiding taking aim, or saying I'll do it tomorrow, that's a mask for fear. Or I'm just too busy to do this right now, coming up with rationalizations or justifications. Plowing through the fear, doing it anyway, in spite of the fear, will bring you to a place where you'll realize that fear is false evidence appearing real. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's something deep inside of me that's being triggered. That's all it is something deep inside of me that's being triggered. And I just don't know what that is that's being triggered right now. So I'm going to go on a journey to find out what it is and get that released. That's all it is. It's getting that energy moved out of my body. And now I'm on a journey to do that. And I'm not afraid to do that anymore because I've experienced that enough times to know that I will get to the other side and I will do great public speaking and I will do great on my TED Talk and I will do great the next time I have to stand in front of a group of my colleagues, which are people that, we all respect and love each other, and give a presentation.
And not only that, each of you are there to help support each other too, not say, oh my God, that was so silly. You're not being great.
Yeah.
So this has been excellent, Brenda. And I've got to ask, in the description of this video on YouTube, or I guess if you're watching it on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, there's going to be a link. And that link is, I'm asking you to aim a little higher and click on it. And it's going to bring you to where you can put your name and email in. And the only reason is I'm building Blindsided Productions, and that'll go into an email database, mine. It won't get sold, and I will not bother you. But I will say, hey, in this upcoming episode, this is what we have planned for you. Looking forward to see you at our next live, or of course, you always can watch the recorded ones. Also, I will then bring the previous previous recording will always be in that email for you in case you missed it. That's okay. And if you haven't liked one of these videos, sign into your YouTube account or your Facebook and like it. If you haven't, what's the other one? Registered or whatever you do, please do that because it helps us come up in the rankings so we can help serve more people. Otherwise, Brenda's got to, drive the money truck over. And we got to pay someone to do that. And we'd rather ask you for the support to help us do that.
Yeah. Great podcast, Charlie.